Hello everyone, welcome tonight to a special event. Don't let stress and overwhelm rob you of the joy that you deserve this Christmas, this holiday season. So we're going to be doing some tapping and really helping to reduce the stress response that comes around. Holidays are busy. Christmas is a beautiful time, but it's busy. And when we're already doing a lot, then it really adds up. So join in and tap along, and I hope this helps you. And holidays are meant to be joyful. I always really do love them, but at the same time, I have this love-hate relationship where it just all feels a bit too much. And the thing is, when we're already responsible for a ton of the emotional labor around holidays, making sure it's okay for everyone and doing all of the care, many of the thankless and invisible tasks that go into planning and organizing and gift buying and all of the other bits and pieces that are there, food and menus and managing people and relationships and all of that. And generally, of course, it does tend to fall on the women, and we tend to do it without really raising too much. We don't ask for much help, and we tend to just keep soldiering on. So the thing is, though, of course, this is added on top of our already busy lives, our already busy work schedules. So when you think about it, actually, you go, no wonder it feels a lot, because it is a lot. But we can do some tapping to actually really calm down the nervous system and allow us to reduce the stress and move into a place where we can think more clearly. We can come back to center and feel grounded and present and more joyful. And it's really when we start moving into that place of overthinking and analysing and trying to do sort of all of it in our head, and we're thinking about the future and what could go on and all of the scenarios, etc. That's when it does become completely overwhelming. But as we can come back into the centre in the moment, and using tools like tapping can help us with that as well, then we actually find that we often have a lot more space. And I know I'm one of many, I think, really, but I know that I can so easily move into an overwhelm, a spinning energy where I just can't seem to think clearly at all, just feels too much, and it just feels crazy to the point where I then think, I don't want to do that. And actually last week I had 3 beautiful nights away, which was wonderful. But the third night was going to be with my sons at another venue, and the thought of actually going from one place to the other and not sort of getting organised, well, all I did in the end, I mean, it was in the city, so it's a 25-minute trip, so all I did was come home, get repacked, rescheduled, sort it all out, and then go again. And we had a great time, and yet in my mind it was almost feeling like I was going to say to him, I don't want to do it, because I was sort of making it so much bigger than what it really needed to be. But when I got present with it and was able to just be in the moment during it, we loved it. We all had a wonderful time. So, okay. So, and there's lots of things to think about, not just the preparation and the planning, but there's all the things like the relationships and the people that are involved. And not all families are wonderful and get along great. There's sometimes people, and we're trying to manage all of those as well. And we're really sort of wanting to hold the space that it's all happy. And then, of course, there's times, Christmas can be a time when there's been great losses. And so we're always aware that they're not here with us, those people that we love. And so I'm mindful of that in this tapping. So we're going to be going through a lot of different issues. So I'll speak it, you repeat after me, and follow along in the tapping points. And if there's a word that's not quite right, because it's a little bit generalized and you want to make it a bit more specific to you, then by all means just put your own wording in to make it very specific. Okay, is that all good? Yep. All right, we'll get started. Okay. And the other thing I did want to say too was, some people feel really alone at Christmas as well. And not that I've really experienced that too much, but I mean, I do remember when I first separated from my husband, and that morning, the kids all leaving home to go off and have their Christmas with their father, and me being home alone. And so rather than really deal with it, I just went for a huge walk for hours, hours and hours and hours. And then my partner, because he was with his family and we were still very new and I hadn't met them yet, he'd been trying to ring me and wondering where I was, but I just decided I was leaving my phone, leaving everything, and just going off for a walk, because really that was sort of how I could deal with it at the time. And I mean, I know some people, it's not just on the day, it's a lot more than that. So, okay. So one of the things about tapping is it can sound really negative at the beginning, and it can sound like we're really complaining. So just go with it, because what we're doing is we're really voicing perhaps what might be going on subconsciously, or even that sort of small quiet voice that we get so used to, that is continually operating, and we almost don't acknowledge what it's really saying. And by actually speaking it out loud while we're doing the tapping, can actually be quite validating and quite a relief. All right. So just to start off with, just take a deep breath. Maybe close your eyes and just feel yourself sitting on the chair. Breathe into your chest and just feel into your own overwhelm, just how much there is to do, and feel the weight of it. Maybe even picture all the lists of things that you have to do still, that you want to do, all the things that you hope that's going to work out. And just see, where does it affect you in your body, in your mind, and how strong is it? And we're going to rate that on a scale of 1 to 10. So 1 is that you're actually really calm and zen and it's all going to be fine, and 10 is obviously that it's really intense and overwhelming and stressful. So just get your own little score, and it's subjective. We call it a SUD score, which is subjective units of distress. So we're getting our own score, subjective, no right or wrong. And what we want to do is just notice where we're feeling it and what our score is, and then we're going to start tapping. Okay. All right, so just joining in with me, and then just speak the words out as well. All of this overwhelm, it's too much. It's too much for my system to handle. I'm too busy. Everybody wants a piece of me. With all the holidays and celebrations, and I've got to buy the right gifts. I can't let anyone down. And maybe I'm hosting or going to gatherings with food to make and things to bring. Everybody seems to need me. Want a piece of me. And I can't let anyone down. So many things to do. It's hard and it's really too much. On top of everything else, I can feel it in my heart, in my chest. And it feels like a lump in my throat. It feels heavy on my shoulders. Even my head hurts. Maybe I could even cry. But I don't have time for that. So much pressure. And I'm running out of time. There's never enough time. Not to mention the time it takes to go shopping. Even online. And then there's the financial pressure. All this spending. Christmas seems to come around so fast every year. I always think I'll buy my presents in advance and plan for it. But I never really do. And if I do, I forget what I've brought. And I end up buying more. It never seems enough. I want to buy the right gift. And I'd love to be more generous. But what if they don't like it? And I'm loading up my credit card. I thought I'd have this sorted by now. Plus, I have to deal with family, all the different personalities. And sometimes there's problems. And I hold my breath, hoping something crazy doesn't happen. And so many logistics. So many expectations and traditions. Too much to keep in line. So much to manage. And just because I have all that, it doesn't mean my work stops. It doesn't mean I have less responsibility. It doesn't mean I don't have clients or patients that need me. Maybe they even need me more. Doesn't mean I'm not paying the bills and answering emails. Maybe the kids are now out of school. And shouldn't that be a fun time? Where we can play and frolic and have fun? If only it happened that way. If only I didn't have all these other things to do. No wonder I'm feeling overwhelmed. Not to mention I'm probably not getting enough sleep. And my eating can be bad. Maybe I'm just shoving anything into my mouth. Maybe it's the kind of eating that I feel worse from. And guilty. And then I don't really enjoy it anyway. Or maybe it's too rich. It all just feels too much. And I have all my normal responsibilities. All the cleaning, maybe preparation for what I want Christmas to be. I want it to be lovely and perfect. And I still have to make meals. That doesn't go away. There's so much to do. I can feel it in my jaw. I can feel it in my chest. I'm probably not breathing deeply enough. I can feel it in my shoulders, tight, and in my heart, restricted. This is the season for love, so I'm not meant to be shut down. Shielding myself and bracing for the onslaught. And even though I handle it year after year, the truth is it's hard for me. It's hard on my system, on my body. And sometimes it feels impossible to get all this done without feeling exhausted. So I just want to honour the overwhelm and honour that this is how I'm feeling. And maybe I also feel angry, alone, unsupported, kind of resentful. And Christmas and the holidays, they highlight the loss of our loved ones. Our loved ones who are not with us. I'm feeling sad. I'm missing my loved one. And Nan said to me all the way back then, not to make a big deal. It broke my heart. I miss them so much. I miss them so much. I feel I can't be true to my feelings. I am not to make a big deal. But it is a big deal in my life. I miss them. And not just at Christmas, but every day. And that is sad. And I have a right to grieve as long as I need to. There is no right or wrong. I honour how I feel about this. Many people have grief and tragedy in their lives and in their hearts. And it's okay to feel it. We need to feel it. We need to honour it. Not just judge it or dismiss it or pretend it isn't so. I know there's so much to be grateful for. And I try to be thankful every day. But no more overcompensating. I'm going to feel sad, and that's okay. I am moving forward. And I'm still sharing my Christmas. And even though there's sadness, there's also happiness. My sadness and joy live alongside each other. And I'm sharing Christmas with my loved ones as well. I'm just going to honour all of this just for me right now. Okay, just take a deep breath. Okay, that was a lot. We've got another one, but it's going to be moving into a lot more positive. So just take a deep breath, and if you've got a drink of water, have your drink. And then what I'm going to get you to do is just close your eyes and just tune in and just see how you're feeling. And hopefully you're feeling a little bit calmer. But if you're not, that's just because we've brought up a whole lot of stuff that often lives subconsciously that we don't express. So if you're feeling emotional, then that's okay. Just keep tapping, keep voicing. And when you get the recording, it would be good to keep going through this. So if you've got the recording and you feel this way, you can rewind and do it again. Remember that tapping is a stress reduction technique, and it does allow us to release the feelings that are actually been sitting present inside us. And it's all about non-judgment. We're just allowing ourselves and accepting exactly how we feel. Okay, so we're just going to start tapping again. So I'm open to feeling balanced and resourceful. Wow, I really do complain sometimes. But mostly I just soldier on and deal with it. So I've never really heard how overwhelming all this can be. And how it really affects me. Wow. I'm just going to honour me right now and how much I do and how much I care and care so much for so many. I am pretty awesome, truth be told. And somehow, even though my list has not changed, I'm open to feeling calmer on the inside. Just keep tapping and take a few deep breaths. It would be awesome to feel calmer on the inside. More balanced and centered in my heart. More grounded and present. And from this energy, I'm likely to get things done more quickly and with more ease. And ease would feel so much better. Yes, ease. Magical ease. I am open to unexpected magic and miraculous ease. I would love that. I am open to being calmer in my heart and open to unexpected help. unexpected resources, making things easier for me. Maybe being even more enjoyable. And even though I'm anxious when I spend the money, I choose to feel relaxed about money. I mean, it works out every year. I feel free when I'm paying my bills, buying my gifts, even when I put it on my credit card. I feel grateful for all the money in my life. I feel wealthy already. I choose to feel relaxed about money. I feel grateful for all the money in my life. And I am open to more money and more resources. I'm open to people who love me. Suddenly coming out of the woodwork and helping me. Seeing my contribution and honouring me. And even helping me in ways that are actually helpful. Maybe I don't know how that will happen, but I am open to it. It would literally be a holiday miracle. And that would be awesome. And since I'm doing so much of the emotional labour, I am open to being in my loving, strong energy and holding that energy for the highest good of myself and my family. And sometimes just holding that energy instead of doing. I wonder what would happen, how they would act if I took just more moments. Moments to be present, holding my loving heart energy. I wonder, well, I bet they would somehow feel it. And I would feel me more. And I would feel more me. I am open to being in the midst of a true holiday miracle for my highest good, for the highest good of my loved ones. And I am open to being a part of the holiday miracle with just my loving presence. Okay, take a deep breath. Okay, have a jiggle and a drink and now the next thing to do is just tune in again and just see where you're at. And hopefully you're feeling a lot more calm and able to be able to go through this holiday period. And thank you.